morning, everyone. It's lovely to see you all and to be here with you. I'm literally just popping on at this point in your programme to say hello, but also to say how delighted I am that Investing in Volunteers is the sponsor for your conference. In the few minutes that I have to talk to you now, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Investing in Volunteers and why we think it is important, and therefore why it's relevant that we are indeed your sponsor for the next 2 days. So I'm going to start by asking you to think about a couple of questions. Let's get the old brain matter going. Do volunteers matter to you? I mean, do volunteers really matter to you? I often speak to organisations across all sectors, across all realms of activity, some with thousands of volunteers and some with just a few. And I ask them to describe their volunteers in one word. And the words I get are wide and varied. And if I was to do the same exercise today with everyone in this virtual room, then I imagine I would get a lot of varied answers too. Some of the words I hear, and hopefully you're thinking of words yourself: incredible, fundamental, amazing, valuable, energetic, wonderful, essential, enthusiastic, passionate, integral, inspirational, lifeline. I ask again, do volunteers really matter to you? You see, if volunteers really matter to you in your organisation, then all the words we've mentioned apply to them. Then I want you to think about some more questions. How are you involving them? How are they treated? And what experience do they have when volunteering with you? A lot of questions, I hear you say. But really, what I want to get you thinking about is, if you think volunteers are so important to your organisations and indeed to the heritage sector, then surely they deserve to have a good experience throughout their volunteering. So think, are you giving volunteers the good volunteering experience that they deserve? Do you see the need to invest in good practice when involving your volunteers? Are you investing in volunteers? That's the last question, I promise. I would ask you to consider some reasons why it might be useful to invest in your volunteers. Think, if volunteers give you the gift of time, surely it's good to give something back to them. Volunteers make a huge contribution to your organisation. Is it not good to recognise this and show that it's valued? They represent your organisation. So I'm sure you will agree that what they do needs to be good quality. Therefore, they need to be recruited, trained, and supported well. Risk management. That's a buzzword that's out there. But it's very important in your organisations. So surely you need to keep everyone safe, and that includes your volunteers. And of course, if volunteers have a positive volunteering experience, they're actually motivated to stay longer with you, and they will tell others to volunteer with you. I'm sure most of you today are already engaging in good practice when working with your volunteers, so you are already investing in your volunteers. But what I want to highlight today is a national framework that can guide your practice. And also, by taking a few extra steps, you can get external recognition and validation for what you're doing. Investing in Volunteers, or IIV as it's known, is the UK's quality standard for good practice in volunteer management. We call it the industry standard for volunteer involving organisations. An IIV gives organisations the framework that they need to improve the quality of their volunteer management and involvement, helping ensure volunteers feel valued and supported and enjoy their volunteering experience. It's made up of 6 quality areas that focus on all aspects of a volunteer's journey and the good practice that you engage in when involving them. It's a volunteer management framework. It's freely available for all to use to check that your activity is in line with best practice. However, there's also the opportunity to embark on a 12-month supportive development journey whereby an experienced assessor takes you through a journey of review and improvement, creating positive and quality involvement of volunteers, receiving an externally verified award at the end. The purpose of investing in volunteers is to improve volunteers' experiences. I can't emphasize that enough. It's not about creating bureaucracy. It's not about making organisations jump through hoops. It is all about the volunteers. Those people that we said at the start are incredible, essential, fundamental, etc., and who deserve to be treated well. The standard is there as a tool to help you improve your practice so that volunteers have good volunteering experiences. Going for accreditation against the standard is just the icing on the cake. The accreditation process does cost money, but hopefully you will appreciate the investment in your volunteers when you experience the benefits. And there are IIV achievers here today, and I do encourage you to talk to your peers about your experiences and the benefits that you feel IIV brought. Whether it's boosting morale, increasing confidence, reducing risk or raising profile, reassuring funders or the general public, just to hear the volunteers' voices and enhance the experience of volunteers makes IIV a good investment. We're running a workshop today and tomorrow, which will explain more about the practice contained within the Investing in Volunteers standard and the process to accreditation and the benefits. I hope you'll be challenged to think about whether or not you are creating a good experience for the amazing volunteers that are involved in all the heritage work, and ultimately that of those who are using your services. I finish using the quote from one of your own, from Sheila from the Museums Partnership Reading, who has actually said that IIV is the bedrock on which our volunteer engagement stands. If you're attending our workshop today or tomorrow, you can hear more from Sheila and from one of our assessors, Janet. We're delighted to be your sponsor. Please have a great conference. Thank you.